welcome back everybody to Geology 101. So far we've talked about the big picture things, formation of the solar system, how do the continents move, and now it's time to zoom in a little further. What are these things called minerals and rocks? So what we're going to cover in this unit is everything here on this diagram. We've done the tectonic cycle, y'all all know the hydrologic cycle, so we are going to focus here on the rock cycle. And for the first section, we're going to zoom in as far as we can, all the way down to the scale of the atom. So an atom is the smallest piece of something that still maintains the same properties or behaviors as the whole thing, the smallest individual particle. It's made of three things: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Out of those three, though, it's really the number of protons that give the atom its personality and tells us how the atom is going to behave. The number of protons tells us which element it is on the table here. If you change the number of protons, then now you actually have a new element. So the point here is by combining elements together, we can make these things called minerals. Before we get to minerals, though, we need to think about which elements we're going to run into the most. So number 1 and 2 are going to be non-metals: oxygen, silicon. Most rocks, believe it or not, are mostly made up of these two, oxygen and silicon. The rest, in terms of elements we'll encounter, are all of these different metals, everything from aluminum to iron, calcium, magnesium, in various lesser amounts. Now, for the rest of this video, I'm going to introduce some common minerals. Some you've heard of, some maybe not, but these are going to be things to help you get a handle on what a mineral is and why they might be important. And we'll start with quartz here. So we take those two most abundant elements, silicon and oxygen, and we put them together, and we get quartz. And now you can see quartz on the left. You might recognize this as amethyst. Amethyst really is nothing more than purple quartz. You put some iron where there shouldn't be iron, titanium impurities in there, and amethyst, the purple color, is the result. But chemically, these two are the same 99% of the way through. Next we have calcite. So you take calcium, carbon, oxygen, put them together, and this is what you get. This mineral is one of the key components for a lot of animal shells, especially marine animals and life in the ocean. It's also one of the primary components of concrete, used to make buildings. You take sodium, a metal, you take chloride, a non-metal, you put them together and you get halite, which is the mineral that makes up table salt. Now, I get this question a lot of what is the most abundant rock or mineral. It's actually going to be olivine. Olivine is what most of Earth's mantle is made out of, making it the most abundant mineral, part of the most abundant rock, called dunite, on the entire Earth. It's made of silicon and oxygen, plus a couple metals, sometimes magnesium, sometimes iron. Garnet is a very common type of gemstone used in a lot of jewelry, very, very hard, robust mineral. And well, what's going on with the chemical formula? And now we saw this with olivine too. We have these elements in parentheses. What does this mean? What this is saying is that we have a total of 3 of these. So it could be 3 irons, could be 3 magnesium, could be 3 calcium, could be 1 of each. These 3 are interchangeable. The metals here are not really important for the core characteristics of the mineral. They're more about the exact flavor or type of garnet that we get. Pyrite, otherwise known as fool's gold, when you break it all down, is just iron and sulfur put together. Another mineral is copper, and this is called native copper, just regular old plain copper, Cu chemical formula right here. Very good conductor of electricity, ductile, you can make it into wires. Very important for industry, very important for the history of Arizona. Diamond is another mineral. Your formula here is just C, just plain old carbon stitched together. It is the hardest mineral on Earth, and so it has these applications used for drill bits, used for cutting into very, very difficult things to cut into, and also used in jewelry. Finally, we have graphite. This is the star of the playground fun fact that actually your pencil lead is not lead. It's made out of clay and graphite mixed together. Same formula as diamond, just carbon repeated over and over again. But believe it or not, graphite is actually the more stable form of carbon than diamonds are. Sorry, diamonds are not forever. Actually, graphite is forever. Next section, we're going to talk about characteristics of minerals.